Today's In Focus comes from the Isle of Lewis, the largest of the Western Isles of Scotland. It was on the western coast in 1831 that local man Malcolm MacLeod, a farmer by trade, made a remarkable discovery. Hidden within a stone-lined kist, he found 78 ornately carved ancient chess pieces. Stories vary as to exactly how he made the discovery, but my favourite involves a cow accidentally unearthing them. For the most part, the playing pieces were made of walrus ivory. This tough and versatile material has a long-standing heritage in human craftwork. However, a few of the pieces were instead made from whale teeth. Carved with extreme skill, the 78 pieces consist of 8 kings, 8 queens, 16 bishops, 15 knights, 12 rooks, and 19 pawns. Although a chess set only requires 16 pawns, the variation in size between the 19 found suggests that the pieces came from 5 different sets. Some of the pieces show signs of having been coloured red to differentiate them in the game from their paler counterparts. And all show character. This is a berserker biting his shield in a narcotics-fueled rage. The pieces have been dated to the 12th century, using the style of the bishop's hat, or mitre. This has evolved steadily over time, and by looking at the pieces, we know roughly when they were made. Some researchers believe the pieces had their origin in the Norwegian town of Trondheim. They point to stylistic similarities between pieces found in the Lewis Chessmen and a piece excavated from the bishop's palace in Trondheim, this being a queen which was apparently broken during manufacture. There is also the shape of the shields as depicted on the Lewis Chessmen. This is of a style and shape which has also been excavated in the Norwegian town of Trondheim. And finally, there is the similarity between the king found on Hitra Island near the Trondheim ford and a similar piece as found in the Lewis Chessmen. Also, the chessmen were not found alone. They were uncovered along with 14 plain round ivory counters, as well as an ornately crafted ivory belt buckle. All told, some suggest that this represents a trader's cache on its way from Trondheim to a wealthy Norse town in Ireland. At this time, these waters were like modern highways, carrying objects of interest from place to place. However, some have suggested that instead the pieces come from Iceland. Notably, Icelandic researchers have pointed to the presence of bishops as being an Icelandic innovation, and say that the pieces must have been made in Iceland. However, many disagree with this standpoint, and the debate continues. Wherever they came from, all agree that these represent extremely high-quality craftsmanship, oozing character, and to the modern eye, rather humorous. Indeed, some have suggested that these pieces represent caricatures of living people known to the owners of the chess sets. In recent years, the chess pieces have come under even greater scrutiny from an ever-growing audience, leading specifically to a row between experts and politicians from England and Scotland. Despite being found in Scotland, only 11 of the Lewis Chessmen are currently housed in the National Museum of Scotland. The rest of the collection is to be seen in the British Museum in London. And with a powerful mandate handed to the Scottish National Party at the most recent elections, debate surrounding the rightful home of these pieces is only going to get louder. The political significance of the Lewis Chessmen is largely due to their iconic status and fame. They pop up everywhere, from the cover of Agatha Christie novels to being the favoured pieces used by wizards studying at Hogwarts. This political significance is despite the fact that they come from a time when the concept of Scotland was very fluid, and the Isle of Lewis, in fact, belonged to Norway. The discussion will doubtless continue, but the Lewis Chessmen represent more than mere pawns in a nationalistic or political game. They do not represent a nation, but instead speak of human relationships fostered through trade networks and the playing of games. It is ironic, therefore, that though the Lewis Chessmen depict adversaries, they represent some of our most ancient friendships.